Shalom, I praise to Yehovah Hashem Yahushai, the one of the apostles at GreatMillStone. Here we got, I was watching this earlier, it basically made me think of the difference between Esau and Jacob's blessing. So I'm going to read Esau's blessing. But as you can see, man, Esau, I'm going to play it, man. Esau is into his weapons, bro. Esau just loves guns. You know.
A voice of dissent outside Europe's biggest arms fair, or Defence and Security Equipment International, if you prefer. This year, 34,000 delegates are coming for close encounters of the military kind, with 1,600 companies and dozens of governments here to buy or sell. Some are offering technology that's not purely for military use, such as this Dutch-made drone catcher.
With this system, you can shoot a net, catch the rogue drone, carry it with you, and leave it somewhere at a safe place to the ground with a parachute.
But other manufacturers are selling the latest thing in tank technology, missiles, armoured vehicles, and all manner of hardware. On the opening day,
I played 40 seconds, so they've got this displaying all kinds of different. It says Europe's largest arms fair open in the UK, and we know we're in a time of war, man, because the scripture says there's a time for peace, a time for war. So here it is that Esau, there's time for hate as well. And so here is Esau displaying weapons for what? Killing instruments, weapons for killing, not for playing, not chess. You know, you can strategically have a chess-like war, but it's not football, you know what I mean?
Britain's International Trade Secretary said the UK is leading the way in ethical arms sales.
So the UK, England, under the auspices of the Queen of Rothschilds, you got blood on your hands?
Robust safety measures designed to allow ethical defence exports to flourish, protected by a licensing system that ensures exports are rational and lawful, and which guarantees that we do not in the process violate international law, break sanctions, support terrorism, or endanger global security.
Well, unfortunately, you do when you go into other countries and dropping bombs on them. Just check America's background, mate. So let me read this. This is Genesis 27. Genesis 27. And 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, I start from 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heaven from above. And Esau's got the fatness of the earth. That's why this is, this Europe, EU, NATO, all over France and Sweden and Switzerland. Esau's drinking wine, and he lives in the nice parts of the land as well, and he's ruling, and by the sword thou shalt live. So he pushes that dominion with what he's showcasing, and new technologies, tanks, guns, and that showcase is a new technology showcase. It says, And by the sword thou shalt live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Anyway, let me go to here.
Arguments dismissed by groups such as Campaign Against the Arms Trade. They say that by backing the weapons show, Britain is perpetuating conflict and rights violations.
This week we're going to be acting as arms dealers. We're going to be pushing wares on behalf of companies like BAE Systems, Raytheon and all the other major arms companies which are going to be in London. The deals which are done at DSEI could have a knock-on impact for years and years to come. We don't know what weapons are necessarily going to be sold, but we do know that some of the buyers there are regimes who simply should not be being sold for means to kill.
This is why the scripture says Esau. The scripture says, it said peace, peace, but war was in his heart. Let me see if I can find that. Might be Psalms. think it might be Psalms 55. Because he's saying, oh, we can't sell these weapons. Well, why did you make them? Because and you know what? The reason... Look, man. That little peon might have said that. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, we hope that... First of all, man, you got countries with nukes already, man. Like I say, I can't... Oh, there, see, it was Psalms 55. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet with the drawn swords. Any man that's going to make all these weapons and showcase them, talking about, oh, I hope they don't get in the wrong hands, and, you know, hope that they're not used for killing. Look at that, look at the firepower behind something like that.
Campaigners point out that several countries specifically invited here, including the United Arab Emirates, Egypt and Bahrain, are on the government's human rights watch list. And roughly 60% of British arms exports go to the Middle East, accounting for $5.3 billion in sales. Egypt and Bahrain are on the government's human rights watch list. And roughly 60% of British arms exports go to the Middle East, accounting for $5.3 billion in sales over the last 2 years. Most of that business went to Saudi Arabia, which, according to many rights groups, has killed hundreds of civilians in airstrikes in Yemen. Since 2015, the UK's approved almost 200 arms export licenses for Saudi Arabia, worth around $4.6 billion. Now, just this summer, the High Court here rejected a legal challenge, saying ministers can continue to issue those licenses. But there is growing pressure from campaigners and from Britain's political opposition for government policy to change. While those campaigners point out there's been a shift in public opinion in recent years, the arms fair and the worldwide industry that drives it shows every sign of growing.
I mean, Esau, you can't listen to him. He's sitting up there telling you he's trying to change this, change that. What the F are you trying to change when you're shooting people right now? You just admitted that you sold people weapons that they used to destroy the Saudi Arabians, to destroy the people of Yemen. And all you've been doing, you're the atomic bomb, you're, you know, big boy, fat boy, little boy, whatever they were called as well. All the other bombs, and now you got nukes, nuclear technologies, and all these different weapons. You got weapons for days, man. You love your weapons, that's why you're showcasing them off. And you're going to come out with something like that. That's what the scripture says, that's by the sword you shall live, man. I just read it. And even this one, yeah. Because Esau's a liar. The words of his mouth were soft, were smoother than butter. He's a liar. Then you know what the scripture also says, I think it's in Luke, that if a kingdom be divided against itself, it shall not stand. So you're going to nuke yourself out. You're going to, all them weapons you're making, they're going to be used against you, Esau. Okay. Now I ain't gonna get, I could have got that, but I just roughly quoted it. But like I said, man, Esau loves his guns, bro. That's what his blessing was. So all you niggas talking about getting guns, well, I'm gonna show you something. Hosea 13:9 says to wait on the Lord. Trust in the Lord, man, not in weapons. I don't know why it's done that. It's done autocorrect, the bastards. I think it's not even gonna load. Saying, yeah. Hosea 13:9. O Israel, thou hast destroyed thyself, but in me is thine help. So the Lord allowed Esau to take us over and build all these fucking weapons, which he's going to nuke himself with. Hosea 13:10. I will be thy king. Where is any other that may save thee in all thy cities? And thy judges of whom thou saidest, give me a king and princes. So the Lord is going to save us. Esau, he's going to be running and hiding. He's going to get chained up. He's going to get bombed. He's going to get all types of different things. He's going to be starving in famines. He's going to get nuked. But the Lord's going to shield us from these fucking devils, man. which is a beautiful thing. That's why you've seen a lot of chariots. So with that, shalom. Shalom, Mark.